Greetings, Rosie here with the Living Your Best Life Challenge. We are on day 4. Welcome back. Give thanks for all who have been joining us. Our theme for today is declutter your space, clear your mind. I'm going to give a moment to allow folks to come in. Make sure we're all set up over here so I can see all of your comments. Make sure we are live on YouTube. Let's see. YouTube is still in the process of going live. It always seems to take a little bit longer to get the live to kick in on YouTube. As you come in, please put your name and where you're coming in from in the comments. I think that's Mary Beth. I see the little picture. Let's see. Make sure I've got all your comments up here. Yeah, let me know as you come in who's in here and where you're coming in from. All right, yes, and I've got us up live so I can see your comments. Excellent. I'm gonna stick my phone on Do Not Disturb. There we go. Okay, so I hope you guys all woke up to an amazing day. Hope you're feeling wonderful. Greetings, Mary Beth. Nice to see you. I'm going to reload the YouTube because it doesn't seem to be loading for us for some reason. Let me just reset that in case anybody is joining us from YouTube today. So just give me a moment of grace while I make sure we got everything running. Okay. Okay. I think I have to restart the live on YouTube, so just give me a moment. Mary Beth, let everybody know where you're coming in from. Okay, let's go live. Okay, yay. Okay, now we've got the live going on YouTube. You know, we have a couple people who are not on social media. So we have a YouTube feed set up at the same time so that those who are not on Facebook or social media can still join us. Yes. Okay. All right. So, and Mary Beth is in Brantford, Ontario, Canada. Oh, when I see CA, I think California, but it's actually another CA, which is Canada. Yay. Awesome to see you as well. Hope all is going well with you. I don't know if you were able to catch any of the replay from day 1, 2, and 3. So, day 1, we set our intentions. So I'm not sure, Mary Beth, if you got a chance to go back and see the replays. We set 3 intentions for the week that we were going to focus on. So I'm not sure if you've done that. If you have, can you let me know in the comments what your intentions are that you set for the week? Or if you haven't, if you want to set 3 intentions right now, that would be amazing. Yeah, no, you're totally okay. Canada is CA too. Cali in Canada. Yes. No, not yet. Okay. I don't know if you have any intentions in mind that you might want to put up. So day 1 was setting intentions. Our day 2 was moving with purpose. So we made sure that we got out and did something for at least 20 minutes. We paid attention to how our body felt before we did the activity, during the activity, and then after the activity. So hopefully we'll have a few more folks come in. And then day 3, yesterday, we talked about gratitude and how gratitude can really help us get to a whole nother level. Today, day 4, is about clearing the clutter clearing the clutter from your space, and which helps clear the clutter from your mind. You know, when we have lots of clutter in our environment, it really makes it hard for us to think, and our space is really a reflection of where we are at right now. So Mary Beth said, my intentions are to be aware of my time and where I tune out and waste it. Get out more and walk. Beautiful. Yes, it's really important to pay attention to like where we are wasting our time. And also to look at like what are those things that are productive. Okay. So yeah, so when we have lots of clutter, that's usually a reflection that, you know, our thoughts and what's going on inside are cluttered as well. And when we can clear up that space, it often will, you know, our mind will clear as well. All kinds of ideas will come to us. Greetings, Samantha. I see you coming in the house. Usually like to give a few minutes for people to come in. Yeah, Samantha, I see your picture up there. Can you just leave us a comment so I know that you are in? Oh, I forgot my water. Greetings, Samantha. But I do have tea. Yeah, so good morning. Okay, Samantha says, good morning, Rosie. I'm super tired, but I'm here. Didn't sleep hardly at all last night. Oh, I'm so sorry, love. I hope you're able to get some sleep at some point today. I know it's hard to function when we haven't had sleep. So today is day 4. Again, we're talking about decluttering your space, which then helps clear your mind. So I'm going to start off with a little story about a client I worked with in the past. This woman, I don't want to use, well, I guess if I'm just using first names, it's fine. I wouldn't give you her last name because I like to protect the confidentiality of my clients. But her name is Linda, and she's a graphic designer. And her place was really quite cluttered. Her desk had stuff like everywhere, and she was really having these creative blocks. She was having a really hard time being creative and creating new content. And, you know, we worked together on getting clear as to what she would really want, what she would love in her life. And she really, you know, the biggest thing she was focusing on is getting her creativity back, getting back in the flow. So we took a look at what are some of the things that are blocking you. What are some of the things that are blocking that flow? And maybe you can think, for you, what are some of the things that are blocking your flow? If you guys have your journals in front of you, you might want to jot down, what are some of the things you feel like are blocking your flow? What are those things, you know, you're here, this is where you want to be. What are those, you know, blocks that are in the way? We talked a little bit about some of these blocks on the movement day because, you know, when we move, we're like moving that energy and getting things flowing. We're having an awareness of where these blocks are for us. I love that Mary talked about one of her intentions was, you know, being aware of her time and where she tunes out and wastes it. So, yeah, so Linda was feeling really blocked. She knew she wanted to be more creative. She had been very creative in the past. Atrisa blocks my flow. What is Atrisa? Oh, stress. Well, and actually when we have lots of clutter, it actually creates stress. It creates anxiety. You know, we may not even realize it, but when we look around and we see all of these things, it can be really overwhelming, and it's hard to keep stay focused on our intentions and what we would love when we've got all of this clutter or blocks in our way. So some of our blocks are emotional blocks, and some of our blocks are physical blocks that are, you know, actually in our environment. So on our movement day, on day 2, we talked about some of the internal blocks, some of the emotional blocks that we might have. There also can be blocks, people in our lives can be blocks too. You know, maybe there's somebody in your life who's not really supportive of you, who you come up with a new idea of something you want to do, and they're like, how are you going to do that? You can't do that, and sometimes there's people in our lives who are, controlling. They're trying to control what we're doing, and their agenda is definitely not the same as our agenda. So these are all different ways that we get blocked from what we would love. Some of it is our emotions, our belief systems. Some of it is the people around us, and some of it is the things, all the clutter that's in our environment. So that's what we're taking a look at today, is how we can clear that clutter. So we were talking about Linda. She's this graphic designer. Yeah, so we took a look at, what are the things blocking you? And she realized that it was very hard for her to be creative when she had all of this clutter on her desk. She'd look at her desk and she'd just see all of these things that needed to get put away. And so, one day at a time, just like 15, 20 minutes at a time, I would have her sit and organize. That each day she would take, set a timer, and do 15 minutes of clearing the space in her office. And it was absolutely amazing. So we did that for a week. And at the end of the week, her space was all clean and clear. And guess what? She started having all kinds of creative ideas coming to her. She had all kinds of different things flow in. She had new clients flow to her. It's really amazing when we clear our space, when we clear these beliefs, these emotional blocks, we clear out these people who are no longer serving us. And, I recognize sometimes that is family. And we can't always just clear out our family. So we have to learn the best ways to deal with them. We have to set boundaries. If they can't respect our boundaries, then we, need to move away from them. Maybe not spend so much time near them. But yeah, these are all the things that get in the way of us living our best life. So, this week we're doing some clearing. We're setting our intentions. We're trying to move this energy. So, let's see. Let's do some deep breaths. Let's get ourselves grounded in. And then we will say some things that we are grateful for. And then we're going to hop into a little meditation like we did yesterday. I know people definitely mentioned that they enjoyed the meditation and getting into that space, that felt really good. Physical clutter for sure. Yeah, Mary, we all need to consistently be cleaning and clearing. There's not one of us that haven't accumulated some clutter somewhere, whether that's in a junk drawer, whether that's on your desk, whether that's in your bedroom. Oh, and Samantha, I don't know what your bedroom is looking like at this point in time. But when we have lots of clutter in our bedroom, or we have like electronics, which is also like a form of clutter as well, like the Wi-Fi signal is a form of clutter. Make sure that your bedroom is clean and clear, that it's like well organized. There isn't all kinds of stuff laying around. And for sure that you're not like charging your phone at night in your bedroom. Make sure it's in another room, and maybe that will help with your sleep. Okay, so I want everybody to make sure their feet are grounded, that they are on the floor. If you can have your shoes off, even better, that we don't have like a rubber sole disconnecting us. So have your feet flat on the floor. We're going to take 3 deep breaths. So we're going to breathe in for a count of 4. We're going to hold it in our hearts for a count of 4. And then we're going to breathe out for a count of 6. So when we breathe in, we're breathing in love and light and good feelings. And when we breathe out, we're going to breathe out any fear, doubt, worry, anxiety, overwhelm that might come from all of that clutter that we're thinking about. So I want you to breathe in, hold it in your heart, 2, 3, 4, and let it go. So you're going to be breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth like you're breathing through a straw. So here's breath number 2. Breathe in, hold it in your heart, 2, 3, 4, and let it go. And one more. Breathe in. Hold it in your heart. 2, 3, 4. Feel that. Feel how good that feels in your heart. All that love. Okay, and let it go. Yeah, really important to do that on a regular basis. Just those 3 breaths can really reset our whole nervous system, give us a whole new perspective. So when we're frustrated, when we're having a tough time, just take a moment and pause and take those deep breaths. And, you know, this is something you can do anywhere. Somebody doesn't even need to know that you're taking those breaths. So just remember, it's an amazing tool that you can use. So the next thing that I always like to do is to think about what you're grateful for. So what's something you're grateful for today? Let me know in the comments something you're grateful for today. And I am so grateful to be off script again today. Mary Beth, I know you weren't here yesterday, but, and I'm not sure if you got a chance to listen to the replay, but I have a friend, Deanna, who is a part of this challenge as well, who, you know, sees me in full flow, like at the beach, like just having all sorts of stuff channeled through from spirit, and she knows that I'm connected. And she also knew when she watched day 1 and 2 that, you know, that she could tell that I had a script or an outline that I would, you know, go back to. Yes, I would go off script sometimes, but I did feel this reliance to that I was scared I would like forget what I was going to say, or, you know, God forbid there be silence. But so yesterday she challenged me. So during this challenge, I was challenged as well to go fully off script, no script. I mean, this is stuff I know. This is stuff I speak on all the time. Like, Mary Beth, you've seen me in our groups and different things, and I just, you know, allow it to flow. Samantha also, like, sees me when I speak to her, or I'm, you know, working with her, that, you know, it all just flows out of me. I don't need to have a script. So I've gotten rid of the script, I've gotten rid of outlines, and I'm just allowing spirit to flow through me, and it feels so good. So I am grateful that I have overcome that hurdle, and I'm on my next level where I'm just allowing spirit to come through, just allowing my knowledge and wisdom to flow through me. Okay? Samantha is grateful for my form of income. Yay! Love that. And when we're grateful for that, guess what? More keeps flowing in. Mary Beth, is there something you are grateful for today? Can you share something that you are grateful for? And I'm proud of you guys making it to day 4. It's awesome. I'm grateful for everybody who is with us. We have 24 people in the challenge, which 24 is my favorite number, so that was really significant to me that there was 24 people who signed up. A lot of people are catching the replays. And there's also some great prizes I will have for you at the end. If you are fully participating, you're playing full out, you have listened to all the lives, all 7 days, and you have days to catch up if you're not there yet. You need to post your action steps in our 7-day Living Your Best Life chat or in the WhatsApp group. So Mary Beth, can you share something with us that you are grateful for? Okay, and if not, we will just move on. You can get that in there when you're able to. So we are just going to do a little meditation. So I want everybody to close their eyes, just get in a comfortable position. And I want you to imagine you're floating on a cloud. You just feel really light. And this cloud is, you're safe. This cloud is fully supporting you. It's like being on a pillow. I think in reality a cloud could not hold us because it's just water vapor. But I just imagine them as they are big, white, fluffy pillows. So we're just laying on this big white fluffy cloud that we are safe. It's securely holding us, almost like we're laying on a hammock, that we're just cozy and comfortable and it's fully supporting us. Just want you to allow your body to relax. I want you to get in touch with what that peaceful feeling feels like. You're at peace. You have no worries. If any worries start floating in, just let them float away like they were some other cloud passing by. Don't allow them to attach to you. We're just clearing our mind right now, floating along. And I want you to picture your space totally clear. Everything is in its place. It feels so good. It's so fresh and so clean. Everything is so organized. You know exactly where to look to find everything you're looking for. And it's really aesthetically pleasing too. Everything's all lined up and looks neat. And it just feels really good to have your space clear of all this clutter, clear of all these things that are no longer serving us. Wow, how good does that feel? I want you to really feel into that. Everything has its place. Anything that no longer serves a function to you or is no longer serving you has been removed. You've gotten down to the minimal things that you enjoy using, that bring you joy. And it just feels so good to be surrounded by all of these things that, you know, if you pick them up, you feel joy. They bring you joy. It's not, you know, a picture in a picture frame that you pick up and you wish you had that again. No, that's not the feeling. We're focusing on the things that bring us joy, and everything feels very clean and clear. Everything is in its space, and yeah, it just feels really good to have that clarity. I hope you can all feel what that feels like. It feels really nice. So just sit in that space for a minute. Okay, and I'm going to have you open your eyes and come on back. Greetings, Noelle. Nice to have you here with us. Noelle says, greetings from Mount Shasta. I need this day. I have way too much clutter. Yay. Well, this is the place to be. I'm glad you are here. So, how did that meditation feel? Were you guys able to feel how it would feel when everything is neat and lined up and the clutter is gone? You know where to find everything. It's right there where you left it. Everything has a place. You no longer have, you know, old gadgets or junk mail or anything taking up space that's no longer serving you. How does that feel for you guys? Let me know in the comments. Were you able to feel what that feels like to be clear of that stuff? I know it takes, I'm going to wait a minute because I know it takes a minute for the comments to show up sometimes. So how did that feel? Were you guys able to feel what it feels like to have that clean and clear space, to have your mind be clean and clear? Okay, I hope you guys were feeling that. I'm not seeing any comments coming up. So I am just going to move forward. I see that there are people here with me, so hopefully there's just maybe a little delay in the comments coming in. But I would love to see how that meditation made you feel. Were you able to feel clean and clear? I love living deciphered, Samantha said. It feels almost like a complete feeling. Yes, it should make you feel complete and whole. So we're going to do a little exercise right now. So I'm going to give you, yes, the feeling is much lighter. Yay. That's what we're going for, because, you know, like I've talked to you guys about before, we have to really feel, everything is an inside job. We have to really feel it inside before we can create it on the outside. So if we can feel what that feels like to be clean and clear like that, to have all of the, you know, extra stuff removed from our environment, then we can create that. I know, you know, it might not seem like it right now because maybe you're looking at your place and all you're seeing is clutter everywhere and it feels really overwhelming. But if we take one piece at a time, it's really doable. So I am going to send you guys on a little mission, kind of like an adventure or a scavenger hunt. So I can't find my glasses. Samantha said, yes, I'm at peace when it's all decluttered. Yeah, see, once we get you decluttered, then you'll be able to find your glasses because you'll have a specific place for your glasses. And so you'll know exactly where they are. So work in progress. We'll get there. Okay, so I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes, or maybe you need 3, 2 minutes to go see if you can find 5 pieces of clutter in your house that you're ready to get rid of. So that is your mission. So go. So go find 5 things around your house that you can come and bring back that you are willing to release. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to do that. So today is all about decluttering, clearing our space so we can clear our mind and focus on those intentions that we set on Monday. Focus on those things we would love in living our best life. When we have clutter, it gets in our way of that. So you're going and finding 5 things that you are willing to get rid of today. And you're going to bring them back. Grateful for everybody who has come in. I want to remind you that if you have missed any of the days, we are currently on day 4. Those lives are all available in this group, in the Living Your Best Life group. If you are registered, you'll get emails. They are also available on YouTube. So I just want to remind everybody to get their action steps done so they can be in the running for the free prizes. We have some exciting things coming that I would love you guys all to have an opportunity to be a part of. Aha, okay, Samantha's got hers. Found them on the windowsill next to the front door. Now I can see what I'm writing and what autocorrect is doing. Oh, your glasses, you found your glasses. Okay, Samantha, I don't know if you heard me. We are currently finding 5 things in our environment that we are willing to get rid of today. And then we're going to bring them back and let everybody know what those 5 things are that we are willing to get rid of. We're on a little scavenger hunt. So glad you found your glasses. Now you can see and find that clutter that you would like to get rid of. So if you've made it back here, you're welcome to put your 5 items in the chat. Your 5 items you're willing to declutter. What are those? I've purged a few clothes and some other necessary items that don't serve me last week after my son was gone. Is there anything you can see in your surroundings today, Samantha, that you could find 5 things right now that you are willing to get rid of today? So Noelle and Mary Beth, let me know when you're back. please post in the chat what those things are that you are willing to release today. I don't want to move on until I know everything is back. Other than that, there is no clutter. I don't have anything. This is true. Samantha did just move to a new space. How about junk mail? Do you get any mail that you don't need, Samantha? That is amazing. She just moved to a new space. She moved back to Hawaii. And her things that she shipped with her haven't gotten to her yet. So this is true. She has, she doesn't have a whole lot around her. So that must actually feel really good to have that clean and clear space, Samantha. So that is great. And she got some wonderful news. She had cleared out a person who was causing some issues in her life. And now her things are coming back to her. She's finding a way that she's able to get her things because she got to Hawaii and those things, the moving company gave her a really hard time about her trying to get her things and wanting more money. So really give thanks for you releasing and letting go of this person who was causing you difficulty. I know it was really challenging. But it's beautiful to see how your life is opening up now that you have done that. So let's see. I think what I'm releasing from Declutter would be mental clutter. Yeah, that's awesome to be releasing the mental clutter as well. No junk mail, goes right in the recycling bin at the post office. I love that. You don't even bring it home. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I love that you have this clean slate to work with. My clutter is everywhere. My dad's pictures. He died 4 months ago. Okay, I totally hear you, Mary. I am sending so much love and prayers to you. It's challenging when we lose someone. And it does take some time for us to process, to let go of those things. And we're going to be talking about some of the different types of clutter that we accumulate. There's actually different layers of clutter. Yeah, so sorry you lost your dad, Mary Beth, and I know that can be challenging to go through that stuff. So have some patience with yourself, have some grace with yourself. It does take some time, and those photos are probably things that you're gonna want to keep because you want to keep those memories. But maybe not everything you have from your dad, you're gonna want to keep. So let's talk about those different layers of clutter. So the easiest layer of clutter is those things like junk mail. You are so welcome. And Samantha's saying, yes, prayers for you. I helped that vision of my things in my new home. Thanks to you. Yes, one of the things that I had Samantha work on when she was not able to get her things is to make sure she focused on where she would be putting those things in her house once she had them. Visualizing where they would go. All those things that are in her, that were being shipped here, that she packed up, she gathered all of these things that she wanted to bring to Hawaii with her. And up until now, she does not have them. But I did ask her to envision where she would put them. And I think that is also part of what's helping you have them come back to you. She wasn't even sure she would get her things back at all. So that is pretty amazing. So, you know what? Give me grace for a moment. I've got to run to the bathroom quick. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I did go to the potty before we started, but give me one moment. Okay, my apologies, guys. I think that was the quickest I've ever gone to the bathroom. I'm clearing out my body. I'm always drinking detoxing teas. I'm drinking neem and King of the Forest to make sure I'm, cleaning my blood and cleaning anything out of my system. So it does tend to run through you. So my apologies. Okay, yay. Okay, so we have Noelle. A bag of clothes going to the thrift store. An old jar of face cream and a random box that needs to go in the trash. Chewed toy that's trash. Hand warmers went in the camping box. Excellent! Yay! Great job, Noelle. And you know what? It's amazing in just we only took 2, I think maybe we took 3 minutes. But just in a couple minutes time, we can quickly just grab a couple things and recognize that there's so much things around us that are really not serving us. So we've got several layers of clutter. So the first layer is those things that are out of sight, out of mind. So this is, again, junk mail. This is maybe kitchen gadgets that you never use. Some broken toy or broken something that you're like, oh, I'm going to fix this someday, but you never do. And maybe you have a junk drawer that all of these things just get thrown in, and then they accumulate over the years. We accumulate all of these things over the years. So that's the first layer, and those are the easiest things to clear out. So then we have a next layer. Layer 2 is, things that are happy memories, things that remind us of people, places, and things. That may be, a ticket to a concert you went to. That might be photos. That might be, what else? Oh, maybe a gift that somebody gave you that you really don't like. You really don't resonate with it. It's not you, but you've held on to it because, you feel obligated because, it was given to you as a gift. It makes you think of that person who gave it to you. So that's the next layer of stuff that we can work on clearing out. Layer 3 is your ideal self, that dress that you've been holding on to because you're like, when I lose weight, I'm going to wear that. Or, maybe you have some sexy little shirt that you wore back in the day when you used to go to clubs. And you don't even really do that anymore, but you've held on to that. Can't see yourself wearing it again. But for some reason, you've held on to that. So, and then as we go even deeper, there might be things like some of the things Mary Beth is talking about, things that belong to family members that have died. And maybe we don't use them, we have no connection to them, but when we see them, we think of that parent or we think of that person that it belongs to. So we hold on to it because we feel like we're holding on to them by holding on to these things. But I want you to know that those people are in your heart. Those people are in your memories. You're not going to forget them. They definitely had a strong influence on your life. And it is okay that if, say it's a shirt of your dad's that you're not going to wear, nobody else is going to wear, but it just reminds you of them, so you hold on to it. And like I said, if you've recently lost somebody, this may take some time. You may need to hold on to them for a little while until you feel ready to let them go. When it's somebody who's died, that's a little different circumstance. So I want to remind you guys today, the action step for today will be, you guys already did some of this in here, but I want you to think of one area of your house, whether that be your desk, whether that be your bedroom, your kitchen, but one space where you're going to spend 5 to 10 minutes today clearing that space. Now, I want you to really be aware of how you're feeling beforehand, how you're feeling going into that task, okay? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling stress or anxiety about going through this stuff? And then I want you to just get, a trash bag or bring a trash can near you. If it's stuff that can be used by other people, for instance, Noelle is taking her bag of clothes to the thrift store. So sometimes there are things that could have a use for somebody else. So you can throw those in a bag and drop them off at a thrift store. But make sure that you're going to take them to the thrift store. If you're just going to throw them in a bag and then they're going to sit in your house, then that's not a good thing. It's always good to repurpose things, though. As Noelle knows, in Mount Shasta, we like to have what's called naked lady parties. And basically, everybody gets their clothes that they no longer want, purses, shoes, jewelry, any of that sort of stuff, pack it up in a bag. We all go to somebody's house, and we dump all of that stuff out on the floor. And then when it's time to go, we can start picking through that stuff, and we call it a naked lady party because, everybody takes off their clothes and they're trying on all these different clothes. We usually have some snacks and things. And it's really, a fun way of, joining together to declutter. That might be something you might think of doing in your area, is getting together with friends and, all of these things that you feel like somebody else might be able to use, that you just bring those things together. Then at the end, you need to make sure that you pack those things up and those things go to a thrift store, or you donate them to a shelter or something along those lines. So yeah, if you are choosing to put things in a pile that you think somebody else could use, then just make sure you follow through on that step of taking them to the shelter or taking them to that thrift store, so they're not just sitting there. Yes. Mary Beth is saying, wow. Samantha said, oh, I miss naked lady parties, so much fun. Oh, Samantha, you guys call them naked lady parties too? Because Shasta is the only place I've heard people call them naked lady parties. And I think it's so funny. It's fun, Noelle said, so fun. Yeah, we've had so many amazing naked lady parties at Noelle's house and at other places in town. But yeah, that's one of the things we do in our little town, to make sure we are decluttering regularly. And then it's just a fun way to, get together and share those things. You could also have a yard sale. But if you're not going to follow through on that intention of actually having the yard sale and the stuff is just going to sit there, then throw it out or take it to a thrift store. Because, a lot of times we sit there with that intention of oh, I'm going to have this big yard sale, and but it doesn't happen. So maybe set a time limit for yourself. If I'm not able to get, a yard sale together in the next month, by this date, you can put it on your calendar, then it needs to go to the thrift store. Oh, Noelle said Humboldt calls them naked lady parties too. Oh, and Samantha said they happen in Portland. Okay, that's the first place I was introduced to it. We had done clothing exchanges like that, but I had just never heard it called a naked lady party until I went to Mount Shasta. So I love that. It's so fun. So yeah, so your action step for today is just to take those 5 or 10 minutes to try to clear that space. And it is really amazing how much can open up for us when we clear these things. Like I said, whether it's, from step 2 where we're talking about the emotional blocks, the belief systems, the limiting thoughts that are blocking us, or it be people who are standing in our way, people who are maybe not on our level and they're, maybe trying to pull us down because they want us to be where they are. And in that, let me remind you, the 5 people you surround yourself with, those are the people who you become. So you really want to surround yourself with those people who are a little bit above you. And I have been experiencing that a lot lately. I have been focusing on, those of you who know me, I think most people know, I would love to be here full time. When I am in Jamaica, I am flowing. I feel like I am at my best. I absolutely love being here. I love being walking distance from the beach, and I've been connecting with so many great people. But one of the intentions, hold on for a moment, there's a big truck going by. I am right near a main, so sometimes the big trucks or the motorcycles going by are a little loud, so I just wanted you to not miss my words. So my intention has been to find my forever place here. And so I am continually meeting other women who have retired here, who have bought homes here, who have moved here permanently. Deanna, who's my good friend who pushed me to this next level yesterday, she is from California. She married a Jamaican and has been living here for the last 7 years. I met another woman who's Jamaican but was raised in England. 3 years ago, she retired and bought a place here. There's another woman I met, 2 other women I met who also have homes here that have come back. One of them was from Scotland, and there was another lady from England as well. So when we set that intention, then we keep attracting people who are at that level and who are at that place where we want to be. So that's really amazing. I've also been, focusing on developing some more youth programs down here. And so then I just ran into someone the other day who is wanting to build a youth center and has the resources to do that. So it's amazing when we stay focused on those intentions and we clear our space, we clear those energies, all the good that can flow in. So same thing with our space. So we talked about emotional blocks, we talked about the people, and the physical things that are in our environment. So once we clear that space, it can really be helpful. I have another tool that I have used, I have a couple other tools that I've used in the past to help with decluttering. One is I set a timer for 5 minutes. I spend, say, 5 minutes in the living room, cleaning, decluttering, straightening things up. When that timer goes off, I move to the next room. I spend 5 minutes in the kitchen cleaning up. When that timer goes off, I move to the bedroom. I spend 5 minutes in the bedroom cleaning up. When that timer goes off, maybe I spend, 5 minutes in the bathroom cleaning up. And then maybe I spend the next 5 minutes in my office cleaning up. So in 25 minutes, you've made progress in several different rooms. And it can really help that we don't get too overwhelmed with one space. It's kind of like a fun little game. Samantha said, surround yourself with successful people if you want to become successful. Yes. You know who was a big proponent of that was Napoleon Hill. He always talked about, the people you surround yourself with are who you become. So another tool that you can use is kind of this joy tool. So if you're not sure whether you want to keep an item, you're not sure whether you want to get rid of it or not, pick it up. Feel whether it brings you joy. Does it bring you joy to hold that item? Do you see yourself using it? If it brings you joy, keep it. If it doesn't bring you joy, it's got to go. Another tip that I use as well in terms of clothing, but you can use this for other things as well, is if I haven't worn it in a year, let it go. And I try to follow that. And then also, say I go to a naked lady party and I take 10 items with me. I'm not allowed to bring more than 10 items back in. Or if I bring items in, then I need to release something and let that go. Make space for that. Samantha said, yes, my pastor said that a lot before he passed away. Great quote. Yeah, no, it's super true. And I'm living that in my life and seeing that right now. Deanna's very spiritual and, we're very much in the same frequency and vibe. And it's amazing to have friends like that are just continuing to help push you to the next level. I feel like that is what we all need and it's super important. So grateful to have all of you guys here as well. I know it's amazing to have this community. I love this community that I have created that really helps push each other to the next level, helps us keep, rising up. That's how we succeed is, helping others to rise up. We want to see everybody rise. We're not pushing anybody down. We're rising up together. And so that just brings my mastermind group to my mind. I have 2 new mastermind groups. Greetings. I just saw somebody new come in. Let me know who is here. Let us put your name and where you're coming in from in the comments. Actually, I think that's Nicole. Is that Nicole? I can't see. I just see little pictures pop up. So until you put a comment in here, I don't know who it is. So let me know who just came in. Oh, it is Nicole. Yay! So grateful to have you here. Nicole, we're talking about decluttering today. Decluttering our space, which really helps us to clear our mind. And I know Nicole just moved to a new space as well not too long ago. And she has been feeling overwhelmed at times with, you know, unpacking all the boxes. She had a lot of things that were in storage, that she's now has space that she's able to go through them. So I know yesterday she and I were talking about, you know, continuing to go through those things, purge the things that no longer serve her, and then have a yard sale or let those things go. Greetings! So happy to have you here, Nicole. Sending lots and lots of love. You're probably going to want to go back and listen to the replay because there's a couple techniques that can really help, that might be really helpful for you on your journey of going through all of your things in your new space and figuring out, you know, what you do want to keep and what you don't. Yes, it is perfect timing for this discussion. Actually, because I know this is so on point with where you are right now, I am just going to repeat a couple of the things that I talked about. One of those things is setting a 5-minute timer. So you spend like 5 minutes in each room. So maybe you do this for a half hour. So for 5 minutes, you're in the kitchen, clearing, cleaning. For 5 minutes, you're in the bedroom. For 5 minutes, you're, you know, in your son's bedroom. So you do 5 minutes. When the timer goes off, you move to a next room so that you don't get too overwhelmed. That's something that I do that works well for me sometimes. And I feel like I'm getting a lot done rather than just spending a half hour in one room, which then you walk out of that room and you're like, oh my God, I still have all of this other stuff. So that might be a tool that would be helpful to you. Something else we were just talking about is like kind of the joy test. Hold it in your hands. Does it bring you joy? Can you see yourself using it again? If not, let it go. If you haven't worn it or used it in a year, let it go. So just a quick little recap there on some of those tips and tools we can use to declutter. And we also have been talking about how clutter is not just the physical things. Clutter could also be considered, you know, these belief systems and limiting thoughts we have. It can be people who are no longer serving us. So it's the same process for all three. You know, whether it be the emotional baggage, whether it be the physical baggage, or whether it be, you know, the people in our lives who are not serving us. And Nicole, you've been doing a great job of clearing out some people that you were able to recognize that were not serving you as well. You know, you moved somewhere to be around family and you're recognizing they are not who you thought they were. So that's really good and really helps us to clear space. So Nicole said, great advice. I'm about to start on the house in a few minutes. Yay, I love that. So our action step for today is just to take 5 to 10 minutes to clear clutter in one area. So whether that, you know, be your office space, whether that be your bedroom. Samantha, if there's anything at all cluttering in your bedroom, just take another look at that, because I know you said you had a hard time sleeping. And that could be clutter, that could be electronics. That could also be, you know, thoughts going through your mind too that are keeping you up, and maybe we can brainstorm later on what that might be and what steps you can take to clear that. So that is what I have for today, guys. Nicole, you're coming in like kind of as we're wrapping up, but you're welcome to go back and listen to the replay. I'd love to take a few more deep grounding breaths before we close out. I don't know if anybody has any questions or anything else they would like to put in the chat. Please let me know. Let me know if this was helpful. I know we always have clutter, and it feels so good when we're able to clear some of that. I've had some clients in the past that were suffering with some major mental illness, and they had a really hard time keeping their space organized and decluttered. And that was like one of my areas of expertise. I'm really good at coming in and helping people to declutter. And I was really helped to recognize that a few years back when I was spending some time in Florida. I was staying at a sister's house, and I opened her pantry and everything was like everywhere. Like I was like, how do you find anything in here? And so she was at work, but I sent her a quick text. I'm like, would you mind if I organize this? If I organize the pantry for you? So I did that, and that felt really good. They were able to like find things. We were also able to clear some things that, she no longer needed in there. And it was pretty amazing because some of our other friends came around and saw that what I had done. They're like, oh, I need you to come do that at my place. So without even trying, I started getting all of these clients who wanted me to come in and help them declutter. There was one woman who moved into a new house, and she wanted me to help her find the perfect places for things as she unpacked. And also, like, if there was anything that needed to be cleared as she was unpacking. And it just felt like really good. And so this is kind of like a business that developed for me without me even trying. Like when we do the things we love, like I love to see everything organized. I love like my cabinets back at home in my kitchen, like it's shelves and there's no like door on them. So I like all the plates to be arranged in a certain way. I like, all the glasses to be lined up. And like, maybe that might be excessive for somebody, but I love to see the order. I love to see, like, I make it like a piece of art. Like I make it enjoyable, arranging things and organizing things. I love for things to be like aesthetically pleasing to me. So I will like line it all up and make sure it all like looks neat. And it brings me joy to do that. It brings me joy to like walk in the kitchen and see it all lined up. Now that might not be for you, but that's something, I find ways to make these tasks that can sometimes be really overwhelming. I find ways to make those tasks enjoyable. The other thing you can do is like put on a favorite song while you're doing it. Put on a favorite song while you're decluttering. So maybe instead of setting the timer, for the length of the song, you work in the bedroom. So while that song's playing, you work in the bedroom. When the next song comes on, you go to the kitchen. Oh, Samantha, you do that too? I love that. Yay. See, like attracts like, and that's why we're all attracted here together. We're of the same frequency. And we can always help each other push to a next level. So I just want to tell you briefly about my mastermind groups that will be coming up. So I have 2 mastermind groups. If you love this feel of having this community support, having other people support you, having people celebrate you, or have your back and lift you up when you're having a rough time, this would be for you. So if you know what you're ready to call in, this is also for people who do have an idea what they want to call in. They know what that looks like. Greetings, JD. We're closing out shortly, but give thanks for coming in. Today is about decluttering your space and clearing your mind. So I was letting you guys know about my mastermind group. So there will be 2 options. There's a weekly mastermind where we meet each week and we hold space for each other to achieve those goals or help with any obstacles we might have in getting to whatever our vision is of living our best life. Obviously, that's going to be a little different for everybody. So there's a weekly mastermind that also has a group attached to it where we connect. Yeah, you're totally welcome to do the replay. I'm going to be closing out in just a couple minutes. It's about to be 12:12 here. I try to go from 11:11 to 12:12. So there will also be, if you don't have time once a week to get together, if that's too much for you, I'm also going to do a monthly. There's also going to be a monthly mastermind that we just come together once a month. So when that monthly happens, everybody will be together. So the weekly and the monthly will come together on that monthly day. So I just want to put that out there, that that's an option for you guys, and I will be doing a discount for anyone who is a part of this group. There is also a new Dream Builder program happening. Nicole is just finishing up the Dream Builder program. It was amazing to have you in there. So there will be a new Dream Builder program starting as well, which is a 12-week program that walks you through. That is also a weekly offering. And then you also get a session with me, a one-on-one session at the beginning and a one-on-one session at the end. That helps you walk through getting really clear on what your dream is, looking at those obstacles that are getting in your way and dismantling them, doing forgiveness and gratitude work, making sure you have partners in believing, or you have a support group, you have people around you who are supporting you in achieving those goals. We can only get so far on our own, and a lot of us try with the best intentions to do it on our own. But it can be really challenging. And you know what? Sometimes there's things within us that we don't see. Sometimes it takes somebody outside of us, an outside perspective, to help us see what our blocks are, or help us to see what's holding us back. Let's see. Nicole, I always thought decluttering with material things was the most, but I'm learning it's just as important to declutter emotionally as well. Thanks for helping me to see the importance of both. Looking forward to a more positive and healthier new life. You are so on your way, Nicole. You have been doing so much work. I know you've had some hardships in these last couple months and some really challenging times, but I really honor your tenacity. I honor your, sticking with it, your livocation to just keep going and putting one foot in front of the other. I know there's times that recently you've been through so much, and I'm sure there's times that you just felt like it was too much. But know that there are lessons to learn in each and everything that has happened to us. Ooh, that's one more thing I want to hit on. I'm glad you said that, because one of the other things that's super important is, be grateful for all that has happened to us. When we're sitting and decluttering our mind, or, when we're decluttering those things, it brings things to mind. There's emotions connected to a lot of those things we're holding on to. And so it's important to look at, what is it about that thing that's making me hold on to it? And giving thanks for all of those things that happened to you. Giving thanks to those people in your life who maybe are no longer here. And giving thanks for having gratitude for even some of the worst things that have ever happened to you. Because if those things hadn't happened, you wouldn't be who you are today. They help us to expand. They help us to see what are the things we need to learn. What are the skills we need to learn to go out there and share our gifts with the world. We all have a mission. We have a vocare. We have a calling. There's something we were brought to this earth in this time to do. And when we can clear out these things, if we can give thanks for the things that have happened to us, it allows us to be able to share our gifts. And sometimes when these bad things are happening to us, it's to help teach us a tool. It's so we can feel what it feels like to go through that. Because maybe we're going to be working with clients, or we're going to be working with people who have been through that, Samantha, for instance, I know you've had some relationship difficulties. We all have. We've all gone through challenging relationships. And when that happens, there's things we're supposed to learn in each and every one of those relationships. Some people are with us for a season, some people for a reason, some people for a lifetime. So, take a look at that. Samantha said it seems like way too many of us went through extreme hardships during the shift period we went through these last few months. Just an observation. Absolutely. And why is that? That is because the frequencies have been continually increasing on the planet, Samantha. you know, and as these frequencies increase, we can't hold these lower density things. So these lower density things, this baggage, whether that be physical baggage, emotional baggage, people who are not serving us, will drag us down, because in order to be at a higher frequency, you've got to be light, you've got to be flowing. We want to be at love or above. We want to be at least a 500 or above. Oh, that reminds me. I told you guys I would post Dr. David Hawkins' frequency scale in the group. I will do that today. I don't even have a pen right here. But I will remember to do that, because it's really nice to see that visualization. So yes, in this time, more than ever, it's super important for us to be getting rid of this baggage, putting it down. Because if not, it's going to weigh us down. And these frequencies are going to continue to increase. So that means we need to keep ourselves in a high space so we don't get pulled down. So we're going to continue, and this is a journey, guys. You know, obviously it's not something that's going to get done in, you know, one session. It's something that takes time, and it's important to have like a supportive community around you as you are doing these things. So yeah, we're working on releasing the emotional baggage. We're working on releasing the physical baggage. And we're also working on releasing any of those people, places, or things that are no longer serving us. You know, maybe it served us in the past. Maybe it was someplace we enjoyed going in the past. But now we're at a different level, and it doesn't feel good anymore. So recognize that. Just, you know, go out there and, you know, when we can stay centered and we can make sure we're having lots of self-awareness, we can see these things that are not serving us. You know, make sure you're journaling on a regular basis, because you have everything you need within you. You have the divine I am within you. And as you journal, sometimes you can see these things and it helps them to be released. Growth from our confines, and yes, level up energies. Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, if you are familiar with the Schumann resonance, you can see, you know, there are machines that can measure and show how these frequencies have been increasing and things have been leveling up. So, you know, it's not just a spiritual woo-woo thing. No, these are things that are being measured scientifically and proven scientifically. You know, a lot of these things, so many of us who are spiritually in tune have been feeling for years, and like science is totally catching up and can measure these things and see these things as they're occurring. So for those who feel like they need that like scientific proof, or, you know, they like to read research studies on things, now the scientific proof is there. Like, you know, for years, a lot of us spiritual people have been talking about these sorts of things, but there's actual, you know, real life evidence of it as well. Samantha said, just another thought, I wonder if we can vibrate higher than Cancer. Absolutely. Love is at a higher frequency than Cancer. If you're vibrating at a frequency of love, it cannot exist in your body. If you're vibrating at a high frequency, sickness cannot live in your body. And yes, JD, you can absolutely invite others to listen. Please. I would love to have, anybody who would like to learn, it's a free event. Anybody who would like to come in, they're absolutely welcome, please. And if anybody else has anybody who you feel like this content would resonate with, you feel like they're ready to live their best life, please invite them to come join us. You know, we are here until next Tuesday. I did the challenge from one Transformational Tuesday to the next. So you can see in 1 week's time how much transformation you can really have. How much we can really like motivate ourselves and get ourselves on a high frequency in just a short amount of time each and every day. Vibration higher than sickness, like a high vibration health center. Oh my God, yes, that would be amazing. And that is so funny because Deanna and I were talking about trying to find a space where we could do that here in Jamaica. So, that's definitely been in our, our intentions and our visions. So beautiful that you are picking up on that. Yes, we definitely need more high vibrational health centers. Okay, but I have a perfect example of this in terms of health. So one of my mentors, Toby Staples, she has brought herself back from being dead, was declared dead on more than one occasion, and brought herself back through increasing her frequency. She had that flesh-eating virus, I think MRSA. No, MRSA is not the same, but she's had MRSA too. But she had this flesh-eating virus that like totally like ate like all kinds of stuff in her nasal cavity. So all of these things in her immune system, in our immune systems that are meant to protect us, she no longer has that. So if her frequency drops down at all, she gets sick like that. So I saw this one day. She had gotten some news about somebody being sick in her family that she hadn't been told about, and she is like incredible at healing people. So she got upset that, you know, this information hadn't been given to her, that this had been kept to her, that one of her family members was sick when she knows she has the capacity to help people heal. So, you know, she did get a little angry about that, and her frequency dropped down. And do you know that like within a very short amount of time, like while I'm with her like on a video call, she could not walk. Like her body was like already starting to fail her in just a very short time of letting her frequency drop down. She went in, she took a shower, she envisioned all of her chakras being fully activated. She envisioned all the different colors of the chakra. She got her energy flowing again. 20 minutes later, she came back. She was the same person I've always known. So we absolutely, you know, when we lower our frequency, we do allow, you know, disease and sickness and these different things to come in. If we keep our frequency at a very high, at a high vibe, sickness cannot come in. Disease cannot live in your body. So just like, you know, alkalinity and having an alkaline body, the disease cannot live in an alkaline body. Disease cannot live in a high frequency body either. So yeah, remember that. So the more we can do some of these different tools, you know, be empowering our chakras, taking time to meditate and keep ourselves centered, focusing on our intentions. You know, in one, I don't remember which day it was, but one of our days we did a meditation where we really felt like what it would feel like to be living our best life. The more we can do that, the more we can stay in that frequency, the more we're going to call it to us. So we absolutely can call in everything that we would love. And we just have to do the work to remove the things that are in the way. So when we ask, especially when we put it in writing, and I want you to guys continue be journaling about your vision. You know, each day we're growing and we're changing. Maybe each day we see some different discontents or longings we might have. Your vision is like continually being upgraded. So when we put it in writing, it's like placing an order with the universe. The universe gets to work and like lines it up right outside our door. So then we just need to get into alignment with it. We need to do the work to release these things that are blocking us or holding us back from having those things we would love. Because we all deserve to be living our best life, each and every one of us. And I would love to see each and every one of you living your best life. You deserve it. This is an abundant universe that wants you to have that. So basically, we just have to do the work to get in alignment with that. And when we are on that frequency, when we're in alignment with it, guess what? All the people, places, circumstances start coming in. We don't need to know how. So many people get caught up in the how. You know, maybe they don't know all the steps to get there. But you've heard me talk about this quote as well. My mentor, Mary Morrissey, says, walk to the edge of the light that you can see. So take the steps that you can see, and more will be revealed. Like say there's a staircase that we're going up. If you take that first step, the next steps are going to appear. So take those brave steps. Take the time to do these work to release these things that are blocking us. Because I want to see you all living your best life. I really do. That's my mission. I want to see as many people as awaken and thrive in 2025 as possible. Because if we don't wake up, if we don't increase our vibration and get rid of these lower density feelings that are holding us back, guess what? They're going to pull us down. That baggage is going to pull us down. As you notice, a lot of people are dropping out in these times. A lot of people can't hold these frequencies. So we've really right now, more than any other time, we need to make sure that we are releasing these things that do not serve us. We need to put down, like, clear any of these lower density feelings. We need to give thanks for these things that have happened to us. We wouldn't be who we are without them. And we need to rewrite the stories. We can't keep telling the same stories. We're a different person every day. Every day when you wake up, you're a new person. And these frequencies are continually increasing on the planet. So if we don't keep increasing, we're not going to stay with it. We're going to get dragged down. So please, I love you all. And I want to see you up on the high-flying disc with me. Give thanks to Abraham Hicks. I listen to a lot of Esther and Abraham. Love them. But she always talks about us, waking up and making sure we're on our high-flying disc. Now, we also have to have grace with ourselves. We're all human. So we are going to drop down into some lower frequencies sometimes. But the important thing is to have an awareness of it and think about what you're grateful for. Bring yourself back up to where that is. Release that thing that's not serving us. Release that thing that is not helping us get to where we want to be. So that is what I have for today. I love you guys. Let me send some love and light out to everybody. I give thanks for all of you who have been joining me on this journey, on this 7-day challenge. We're at day 4, 3 more days to go. Love it. Love all the amazing work that you guys are doing. And I love how you guys are able to see in, just a few minutes a day, we can really increase our frequency and move ourselves forward to where we're supposed to be. Love you. All right. Blessings, everybody.